Hey guys, it's Dave again. Welcome back to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back for another video. We got kind of a multi-variety unbox today. So I actually got some ornaments, and we are going to be going over the Ranger Slayer from Hasbro Lightning Collection, based on the Boom Comics character. So I was out and about today. We actually went to the Walden Galleria Mall in Cheektowaga, New York, which is just adjacent to Buffalo, New York. We went to the mall today because they have a Lego store there, and I jumped on the Lego Ecto 1. We're going to be doing a separate video for that, so you might want to check that out. But while I was there, we went to a GameStop. We also went to Think Geek. Yes, there's still a few around. And they had some ornaments on sale for $8.99. So I got myself the old Nintendo, the original NES controller. I got that, and I also got the Mandalorian. I mean, what Star Wars fan isn't loving the Mandalorian? Or and one thing, honestly, I'm probably gonna get shot for this. I'm not overly a big fan of the child like everyone else is, so I'm glad that it's just Mando by himself. So we're going to open these up. And I'm being careful because my wife always likes us to keep our ornaments in boxes to protect them from everything. So this just slides right out. We have a nice little string here. So he's actually got his loop or eyelet, whatever you want to call it, that holds the ribbon on. They actually have it going right into his shoulder here. So that's where that is. I mean, I guess you could easily, maybe with some needle nose pliers, kind of remove it right out, and you have a nice little standing figure. I love that he's got his cape kind of rustling in the wind. You have his rifle on the back here. And by the way, this is a little bendy, if you guys can see. So please be careful. This is going to be a fragile piece. Well, that end of the rifle, that fork end, I could see that easily breaking if you're not careful, guys. So be careful. Definitely, if you have animals, dogs or cats, I would definitely put this high up so that they can't get to it. But yeah, I can easily see that happening. We got Mando in his upgraded armor from later in the season, and he's also got his hand on the trigger. You got to be careful. So I really like how this figure looks. I mean, it was pretty badass. I mean, I don't have any Star Wars figures myself, but I grew up watching the movies. I mean, I was born in '78. The first movie came out in '77. So, you know, the original Star Wars trilogy. I remember seeing Empire and going to the theaters and watching Return of the Jedi. I mean, I remember all of that as a kid. So, anything that keeps the Star Wars nostalgia fresh in my mind, all the better. I love it. I do love the Mandalorian show, the Mandalorian series. I've only seen season 1, guys. I am holding off. I am not watching season 2 until it's available. All the episodes are together, so we can binge it. My wife and I, last year, we actually didn't get Disney Plus until later on in the year. So for us, we actually binged it all at once. Now, what we did was we actually had some friends over and we binged it together, and that's what we're planning to do again this year. So we'll see just how well that turns out. Let's see what else. We have the Nintendo controller. Yes, I do realize you're probably thinking, well, how do you avoid all the spoilers on social media? I can't. I mean, obviously there's certain things that I'm aware of, but I'm sure there's boatloads that I'm not aware of. So, it is what it is. I mean, nowadays with social media, you can't keep anything secret. Now, here's the Nintendo controller. It's got some heft to it, guys. You hear that? That's me banging this on the wood of my desk here, guys. So it's nice and solid. We got like a little faux, little fake power cord coming out, and it's just kind of like there's a groove in there, keeps it nice and smooth. You got the eyelet in the middle, so it's a nice little ornament. Yes, for those that don't know, those are all the buttons we had on a controller. We had the directional, we had the start and select button, which allowed us to pause, and then we had B and A. That's all we had. Those are all the buttons we had back in the 80s, guys. You might be wondering, well, how the hell could you play games? Well, we did. It was very much uh, those that can remember arcades, I mean real arcades, that's pretty much what we had. You might have had 2 or 3 buttons and a directional. That's what it was. That was that was our video gaming. We didn't have about 20, maybe 8 or 12 directional buttons and controllers. It's just it is that's what it was, guys. That's how we gamed back in the day, and we didn't have cheat codes. It was just you trying to figure out the story and see if you can find some hidden items. Now, the next item we're going to review is the Ranger Slayer, as she's called, Mighty Morphin Ranger Slayer. Now, in the if you're familiar with Boom Comics, their take on the Power Rangers universe, they also introduced Lord Draken. A little brief on him: he is an alternate universe Tommy Oliver. Imagine if in a world where Jason and the others didn't destroy the evil sword of darkness, and Tommy never turned good, where would Tommy be now? Well, Boom Comics with Lord Draken, that's the answer to the question. Basically, Tommy was pure evil and stayed evil, and he was so evil that he even took out Rita, and he took over her empire. That's right. He basically killed Rita. He felt that he was the most perfect choice to rule everything. So, and that's what happened. He started taking out Rangers from other dimensions and other worlds. And he's basically just trying to sweep over basically the multiverse in a way. And one of his chief servants or soldiers was a evil version of Kimberly, known as the Ranger Slayer, because she was so powerful that she could kill Rangers. I mean, you got a little version of a Sword of Darkness bow in here, which is actually pretty badass. Now let's take a look at the back. She's got some color striping that goes down her one arm, but not the other. You got your basic Ranger art. Now, honestly, and this is not in any way sexist, I have not been collecting the female Rangers, mostly because I'm not a fan of some of the face sculpts. I've been focusing on some of my core favorites, like White Ranger. I did get Lord Draken, and that's why I got her. I wanted Lord Draken. I wanted him to have as many baddies as possible, so that's why I got her. So this is a fresh opening. Get the basic Ranger art that they've done, just a variation in the colors. There we go. I like on here how it looks, how she has a tattered cape. So it looks like she's been battling, and they do have that represented here as well. You can actually see the cape is pretty tattered. This is definitely a plastic. It's not a cloth by any imagination. We have a very cool looking arrow energy effect. There's something pretty brand new right there, guys. Well, at least new to me. I don't have the regular Kimberly, so I really can't speak to if she has that energy weapon or not. She may. She also has these arrows, so you can shoot 3 arrows together at once. We have a dark version of the Blade Blaster. Now, unfortunately, this is not in a gun mode. It's just in the stowing in her holster mode. She does come with 2 extra hands, guys. Looks like one is a fist and one is a karate chop. Now, let's take a look at the, I guess you would call this the Bow of Darkness. I haven't read the comics, so I don't know every little minute little detail when it comes to that. But it definitely looks like kind of a combination of two swords of darkness merged into one. And I think that's pretty badass. Now, this is in that faux metallic gray, if you will. I might actually tape some of this up and see if I can do some spraying with some silver, or I might do a hand application with brush. So I might actually try that, and if that turns out well, I'll do a follow-up on that, guys. I might do the same thing with the arrows too, to give them more of a metallic look. So let's jump to the figure itself. Boy. Okay, that makes it easier. Apparently her cape comes right off. That's great. So her cape, it's a bendable plastic. It's definitely, you know, you can do some bending with it. And she's got a little shoulder guard, I guess you could say. So this just rests right on her. I mean, it's doesn't fall off. It's on there pretty steady, guys. It's not coming off. So you can just kind of just pull it right off. So here's the Ranger body itself. This is the first female figure I've gotten from the series. I'm loosely familiar with the ball joints and the overall aesthetic of Hasbro's female figures because I had the Plasma series Gozer and Plasma series Dana Barrett. So we have those. But this is actually pretty badass. We have Ranger Slayer. She's got full motion. Her arms are much smaller, so if you're not used to the smaller arms, you may want to be a bit careful. We have a full range of motion. Now the arms, this is about as high as you can raise the arms up. Okay. Now on here, different look for the Ranger belt here. We have the Morpher. So it gives kind of a Morpher's just kind of hanging low like a different design. I definitely dig the black with the pink on here. It's almost reminiscent of like a Psycho Ranger kind of a look without it going to that molded monster mutated kind of look. The helmet is definitely different. This is definitely different than your standard Pink Rangers. It's got the, what would you call it? It's not really a horn, but it's got the grooves going out back so you can see texture there. Now, this Ranger does not come with a head. Now, I'm sure you can remove the head. I don't want to... It's on the basic ball joint just like the other Rangers' heads are. So I guess you could, if you have a Kimberly, you could put Kim's head on here. So, but all that we've seen here right now, definitely the visor part comes down a little bit lower. But overall, she's actually pretty badass. She's got like armor around her upper thigh area here. I mean, this is definitely a different Ranger. Now, I get what this design is. You'll see this with some archers. They'll have like an extra material kind of helping to pad their arm. So I get that that's what that is. Okay. Of course, you have the hands are done in such a way where, you know, she would be holding this in one, she'd be holding the bow in one, and pulling back on the other. So that's where that is. If you've had a Lightning Collection figure before, you get the same range of maneuverability, left, right on the ankle. You know, they're still the same joints. Now I got this full price, $22.99 at ThinkGeek, same price at GameStop. Some places, some retailers have had trouble keeping this in stock, so I figure I'd jump on it because it's more of a collectible item. It's like Lord Draken. it's not something that you're going to see repeated 1,000 times over. I mean, it's different because it doesn't take place in the television universe or the movie universe, but it does take place in the comic book universe. And I think that whole what if alternate dimension, that's what gives it so much fun and desirability, I guess you could say. So we have the blade blaster goes right in the holster. At least I'm trying to get it right in the holster. There we go. It kind of sticks up a little bit, guys. It's kind of high. Doesn't fit in perfectly, and I am putting it in the right way. Let's try putting it in the other way and see if it goes in a little smoother. No, it's still sticking up pretty high. Either way you put it in. But it's a pretty badass figure. I definitely dig this this light effect though. That light effect does look pretty badass with it. I mean, you have her shooting the arrow straight out. Very cool indeed. They definitely did some amazing work with this. Now the other set, the other arrows, you can actually, there's grooves on here if you see it. So these can actually fit into those. So she can just kind of hold it and shoot it out. Some of the hands are not perfectly great for this kind of a bow, but I mean, it still looks badass if you ask me, guys. We have a little bit of a extra material, so her hand can, when it pulls back, it's holding on to that right. But I think, all in all, it's a very awesome figure. A very awesome figure. We'll throw that cape back on. I think that there are some people who've, some manufacturers out there who've made aftermarket capes. I know there is one for Magna Defender. I'd be interested to see if they do one for her too. I mean, that cape just looks like she's been battling people left and right. I mean, it definitely gives a Dark Universe vibe to it, and I love it. This is definitely a great figure. So, that's pretty much it for the unboxing today, guys. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications for more videos. We have a lot more coming up. Like I said, we have the Ecto build, and I'm definitely going to be doing a follow-up on that one to show you guys. Also, I mean, right now, this is the holiday season, so as I'm getting stuff for family members, who knows, I may be doing some videos. We may discuss a few things. Right now, I'm in, those that have seen the channel, you know me, you know I'm in New York State. As of this past week, there's been more cases of, you know what, coming up. They're putting restrictions back in place for a lot of things. So we'll see what this means. Honestly, this past year with health, my wife and I had some surgery, so we had to use vacation time for that, for recovery. We do have some family members in the state who we might be able to go visit, but then again, we have to see what happens this year. It's, you know, things are getting uncertain again. We're hoping things would be getting better. There's a vaccine that was announced, developed in Mexico, I believe, by Pfizer. But we'll see what happens. I mean, just like with anything, just like with the flu. Every year there's a new strain of the flu out there, so you just have to be careful, guys. And that's what the way me and my wife are planning things is we don't know. I mean, usually we like to go to Ohio to see her sister and our niece and nephew there, or to see her aunt and uncle there in upstate New York, and even she's got family in Michigan that, you know, we would love to go see, but with this year, I mean, state to state travel is not exactly a possibility for a lot of states, especially New York. I mean, we would have to, if we went out of state for even a day, a full day, let's just say, just 24 hours, we would have to quarantine when we got back. So it's not exactly a possibility. So we're going to see what happens this year, guys. The important thing about this past year and moving forward into 2021 is we have to take things step by step. We have to do what we can. Help out your family members, your loved ones. Drop them a line, write them a letter, video chat. I mean, anything and everything, guys. Just checking in on people, making sure they're okay. That's what it's about, guys. Um, I don't want to be I want don't want to end this video on such a downer, but it's you know there's a very realistic possibility for a lot of people not being able to see family members. Now, being here in New York State, not just New York State, but in Buffalo, we have several border bridges with Canada. Okay, so we have a lot of people in this area who have family that are in Canada, or them themselves might originally be from Canada, but because of everything going on, they can't see their families. I mean, I have some friends who they have family who are Canadian, who are from Canada, and they haven't seen them in maybe about a full year. I mean, imagine not being able to visit your mom, your cousin, your grandmother. Not being able to see them or give them a hug. I mean, these are some serious times, guys. Okay, yes, a lot of the country is getting complacent. I mean, today I was at a Walmart and people were, I'd say about 2 to 3% of people there were either wearing their masks all the way on their chin or half over their mouth like this. I mean, it was, it's enough to make you shake your head, but you can't speak for those people. They're not your family members. Those are complete strangers. I mean, what are you gonna do? Walk up and say, "Hey, why aren't you wearing your mask?" You're gonna start an argument. You're gonna start a fight with someone. That's not what we're supposed to do, guys. Eventually, those people who are in those situations, people who are acting in that manner, eventually, and I don't like to speak ill of anyone, but eventually that kind of behavior, karma comes around, guys. Karma will come around, and or maybe they might find themselves in a situation where someone that they love is sick, and it might wake them up. Who knows? Um, I don't wish that on anyone. I want us all to get through this. I want all of us to emerge through 2020 and to just hit 2021 out of the gate running like there's no tomorrow. Um, I really want things to be good. I hope the vaccine that they're rolling out supposedly is helpful, does help battle this. But in my experience, it's not the first vaccine that will work. It may be a second or third generation from this. So I mean, we could still be in this situation for another half a year to another year or so. I really don't see things getting back to normal for maybe another 2 years. We're almost at 1 year here, so we'll see what happens, guys. But hey, if there's some new item coming out or something you want me to check out, take a look at, do a review, or even just supply some information on, that's what I'm here for, guys. So let me know. Uh, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. And as always, keep on busting, and I'll catch you on the flip side.